Hello all, welcome to Learn with Lakineni by PrasannaKumar Lakineni. Here I am planning to prepare quality video content for Python from basics to advanced concepts. As you all know that nowadays Python has lot of demand in the market, especially in machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, computer vision. There are a lot of applications with Python and Python libraries. So keeping in this point, in order to make a quality video content to be available for the software job aspirants and the purpose of various university students, herewith I am preparing video content on Python. In this series of tutorials, series of lectures, I will cover all the basic concepts of Python to all the advanced concepts like exceptional handling, oops, I will cover all oops concepts in these videos. So I hope these videos will be helpful to everyone. So these are all self-learning tutorials. So you have to listen the video clearly and you have to practice immediately so that you will get perfection. So Python programming is not a difficult, it is easy compared to the remaining programming languages. So that you please listen the videos clearly and you use in your life. There are a lot of applications with the Python. There is a lot of demand for Python programs. There is a lot of demand for these artificial intelligence, so that you can learn so many things. Already I am preparing video content for the NumPy, Pandas. You can see the machine learning application libraries, and also you can follow these Python videos, so that definitely all these will be helpful. I'll give a clear explanation and clear examples. I'll explain with examples in the live, so that you can write the examples and you can practice. It will be more benefit for you. So before watching my videos, please subscribe to my channel Learn with Lakineni. Please like it, share it and press bell icon symbol, so that you will get all new notifications, all updates from my side. I am having 14 years plus experience in computer engineering field as an associate professor. I want to use my knowledge and my experience for the benefit of the students. So these videos I am preparing for any university student, any engineering student, any student who is an aspirant of software job can go through my videos. I am preparing not only the Python videos, I am also preparing competitive programming videos also. I am solving the lead code and every day. You can subscribe to the channel and you can see my lead code challenges and solutions. I am giving a clear explanation in an easy manner, so that you can understand, so that it will be useful for MNC companies. So in this video, I am going to explain the basic information about the Python, the introduction concepts about Python. So before that, please subscribe to my channel Learn with Lakineni. Please subscribe and share my videos, so that more students will be benefited from my videos. Hello everyone, this is PrasannaKumar Lakineni. I am going to explain the Python concepts from basics to advanced concepts. So as a part of this course, today I am going to discuss what is the Python and the importance of Python and the characteristics and features of Python. So as you're all listening and
you're hearing about what is a Python and the importance of Python. Everybody is, the entire industry is speaking about Python. Python is very important nowadays. So, in spite of we have wonderful languages like C, C++, Java, and .NET. Many languages are there. Even then, the total industry is going towards rushing towards Python. Python is gaining the attention of the entire industry because of its excellent built-in features, built-in functions, built-in libraries, and simple to use. The main concept of people going towards Python is it is very simple to use. So here, now I'm going to start the introduction of Python. Python is a general purpose high level language, high level programming language. You all know that what is a high level programming language? A language which can be understandable by users and a language which can be seen like an English like language, English like words, which we can call it as a high level programming language. So that Python is a general purpose high level programming. General purpose means you can use Python for developing projects. You can use Python for developing enterprise applications. You can use Python for developing web applications. All many things you can do with Python as you can do like C, C++, Java. You can do whatever things you can do with C, C++, Java, .NET, some other languages. In the same manner, you can also apply the Python for all general purpose applications. So that's why it is called as Python is a general purpose high level programming language. So initially, the Python was developed by Guido van Rossum in 1989 while working at National Research Institute at Netherlands. He is a person you can call is a father of the Python. The father of Python is Guido van Rossum. He developed this Python version at the National Research at the Netherlands. But officially, Python was made available to public in 1991. The official birth date of Python is February 20th, 1991. From that date onwards, officially the Python version was released. Python is recommended as a first programming language for beginners. Actually, people will think that C is the basic language, C is the first language for learning the things. But when you compare C and Python, you can refer Python is a first fundamental language to learn the things about language because Python is very easy, very attractive, and very simple compared to the C language. So nowadays, people are trying to give the first fundamental language as a Python. So actually, the meaning why the Python name was given, why it is named as Python. The reason for this is in olden days, from 1969 to 1974, there was a funny circus called the Complete Monty Python Circus. That circus show is very funny and very attractive and very charming circus it is. So it was broadcasted in BBC. So when the Guido van seeing this circus, he thought that he wants to develop a programming language which should be funny and it should be very simple, like Monty's Python circus. So that's why, with that intention, he has given the programming language name as Python. There is a history behind why it is named as Python. So before going into the deep concepts and deep things about Python, first of all, we all know that what is Java. Suppose Java is also a programming language, object-oriented programming language. You can develop any type of application with Java. Till now, Java is everywhere. Our total industry is using Java. Now, slowly, all people are turning towards Python because of the rich inbuilt functionality of Python. So if you want to add two numbers in Java, so this is the basic program that they have to follow by anyone. If you want to add two numbers in Java, so this is the minimum thing which you have to write, which you have to use in order to add the two numbers. Public class add, and you have to open the brace, then you have to write public static void main string, and you have to declare the two variables A and B are of type integer. Then you take one value into A and you take another value into B. Then you write system.out.println to print the sum onto the screen. So how many lines of code? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 lines of code you have used to add two numbers in Java. Suppose if you want to add the same two numbers in C language, you have to declare the header function. You have to write. You have to start with the main function, and you have to declare the type, what type of variables you are going to take. Suppose if I am using integer variables, then I have to say that A and B are of type integer. Now I am taking some value into A. I am taking some value into B. Now I am printing the value of sum. That means A plus B. That means in order to add two numbers either by using C language or by using Java language, you need at least minimum of 5 to 10 lines of code in order to add the sum of two numbers in C language and Java. Suppose if we see in Python how to add two numbers, you just take two values, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, then print sum is equal to A plus B. So how many lines of code? You have used 3 lines of code. So now if you compare the number of lines of code to add the two numbers in Java, in C, in Python, so you can understand the simplicity of Python. There is no much declaration. Just like a simple like English. If you want to store 10 value in A, you are storing the value 10 in A. You are storing some value 20 in B. That means whatever you have is there in your mind. That suppose I want to add 10 and 20. Simply I'm saving the 20 in B, 10 in A, and I want to add. How can you add? By using a plus operator. So A plus B. Now you are printing. So you want to print. So that only you are using. The print is in English word. With the print word, I'm going to print the value of A plus B. That means the sum of the two numbers. So here, 3 lines of code. Actually, we no need to have 3 lines of code also. You can have in one line, in 2 lines. You can give the value of 10 and 20 to A and B values in a single line, and the next line you can print the value of A and B. So this is now you can understand the difference between a Python and the remaining languages. There you need to declare lot of things in order to print the value of A and B. Here there is no declaration. You are simply taking whatever values you want to add. Those values you are taking into some variables, and you are summing up and you are printing with the help of a print function. So this person has developed this Python language by taking almost all programming features from different languages. You can call Python as a functional language because it has the functional characteristics. Those are the functional characteristics which are borrowed from C language. Python has object-oriented features, just like C++, Java, .NET. Python is also an object-oriented programming language. So where these object-oriented features have taken in from C++, has borrowed the object-oriented features into the Python language. And Python has a scripting feature. Python can also be used as a scripting language. So these scripting language features borrowed from Perl and shell script. That means you can use Python for developing scripting language applications like web applications. You can also develop web applications using Python. And Python has modular programming features. These features are borrowed from Modula 3. So like that, if anybody asks, is Python is a functional language? Yes, we can happily say that Python is a functional language. Where these functional features are brought up, these functional features are brought up from the language C. So if anybody asks, is the Python is an object-oriented programming language? Yes, Python is an object-oriented programming language. All these object-oriented features are brought from C++. And also Python has a scripting power. That means it can also be used as a scripting language. These scripting language features are borrowed from Perl and shell script. And also Python can be used as a modular programming. These modular programming features are borrowed from Modula 3. So that means a Python is a functional programming. A Python has object-oriented features. A Python can be utilized as scripting language. A Python can be used as a modular programming. So where can we use Python? You are saying that Python is a general purpose language. Okay, general purpose higher programming language. Okay, okay, where we can use the Python programming language? Wherever you want, you can use the Python programming language. The most common important applications or areas of Python are for desktop applications, you can use Python. For developing web applications also we can use Python. For developing database applications we can use Python. For developing network programming we can use Python. For developing games also we can use Python. For data analysis we can use Python. Data analysis means in machine learning, deep learning, in data science, in data statistical analysis. All these things can be developed with the help of Python. Python can be used for machine learning. Python can be used for artificial intelligence and deep learning applications. Python can also be used in IoT applications. Anywhere you can use Python. So everyone is going towards going with Python to develop these concepts. All modern emerging technologies are completely linked with Python because of its rich built-in functions and libraries. Now internally Google and YouTube are using Python. Python coding. Previously they used Java something like languages, but now they are also turned to the Python. So now Google and YouTube are also using this Python code. Next, NASA and network stock exchange applications are developed by Python only. Top software companies like Google, Microsoft, IBM, Yahoo are also using the Python. That means you can imagine that giant companies like Google, Microsoft, IBM, Yahoo are also using the Python because of its simplicity. Okay, so now what are the features of Python? There are a lot of features of Python which makes attractive to the user, to the programmer, to the industry. So Python is firstly simply and easy to learn. Simple means it is like an English language, so that you can understand easily the syntax of the Python. And you can easily develop, you can easily understand develop the Python programs because of its simplicity. And it is freeware and open source. Freeware means you no need to purchase this Python software. It is completely freely available and it is an open source. That means whenever anybody wants to customize his own code, then he can customize his own code in Python, and he can develop and he can customize. He can release the customized version of Python. So suppose if you want to develop a Java application with Python, so there is a version is called as JPython. So like that, we can able to customize and we can release the customized Python versions. So that's why it is called as freeware and open source. Anyone can contribute their own code according to their requirements, and they can release their customized versions. Today JPython is there. Today CPython is there. Tomorrow I want a Python which is needed for my enterprise. Suppose I am in my diet, I want a separate Python. So I will develop some customized version of Python, and I will call it as a DPython. So you can write your customized versions of code, and you can release the versions. This is about freeware and open source. So Python is a higher level programming language. As you all know that what is a higher level programming language? It is understandable by the programmer, and it is easy to understand, and it is like an English language. So that it is called as a higher level programming language. Next one is platform dependent. Platform dependent means you can write program at anywhere, and you can run the program in any system. Suppose today I have developed my Python program in my Windows system. So now I can run the program in my Mac system, I can run the program in Solaris system, I can run the program in some Linux system. So that means write once and run anywhere. So this is called as platform independent. So without depends on the operating system or the mission, you can write the Python program at one system, at one environment, and you can run that Python program in any environment or in any platform or in any operating system. So that's why it is called as platform independent. You can also call that as a ORA, WORA, write once and run anywhere. So this is the property. This is called a platform independent. Next one is portability. Portability means you can run the program at somewhere, and you can transfer the code from one machine to the another machine, and you can run the code anywhere. That means without changing the code, you are porting your code from one system to the another system. So this property is called as portability. Suppose I have a number. So today I'm using that phone number with Vodafone. Now I want to change from the Vodafone to the Geo. So without changing the number, I am porting from one network to the another network. I am not changing my number. Just I am changing my network from Vodafone to the Geo. But my phone number remains constant from this network to the next network. That means without affecting my phone number, without disturbing or without affected by my changing the phone number, just I am changing the network from one network to the another network. In the same manner, without changing the code, you can change from one system to the another system. This property is called as portability. Next, the next property is dynamically typed programming. It is a very fantastic feature of Python. You can give more marks, more concentration on this property. That means in C language, in C++, Java, .NET, they are called as statically typed language. When it comes to the Python, it is dynamically typed language. Why? Because in statically typed language means there, when you want to utilize or when you want to use a variable, first of all, it is the programmer's responsibility to declare what type of variable he is going to use in his program. That means, suppose I want to add two numbers. Suppose you already have seen. Suppose if you want to add two numbers in C language, first of all, we have to say what type of variables you want to add. Suppose I want to add A and B. First, you tell the compiler that I am using A variable is a 5 integer, B is a variable of 5 integer. That means initially in the declaration section itself, it is the programmer's responsibility. It is the programmer's burden to declare what type of variable you are going to add or what type of variable you are going to declare. Accordingly, the compiler will recognize the variable and will allocate the required memory for the variable. Otherwise, it won't take. It cannot allocate. That means it is a programmer's responsibility. That means when whatever the variables you are using in his program, initially he has to think about what type of what data type the variables are having, what is the data, what type of data he is going to store in the variables. Accordingly, he has to declare the type of data type for the variables. But when it comes to the Python, the program is completely free from declaring his variables of a particular data type. That means he need not bother about what type of values he is assigning to a variable. That means what is the type of variable. That means the programmer should not worry about the data type of a variable. So whatever the value you want to give, you just keep the value in a variable. Python internally recognizes the type of the value. So that is the biggest button relief from the program of the to the programmer from those languages to the Python. So it is dynamically typed language. That means if you want to store the value 10, you need to know about what is the value of what type 10 is. You just give 10 to a variable A. Then Python internally recognizes that the programmer has given the value integer. So that means has given an integer object. The 10 is an integer, so it will allocate some memory, the required memory to an integer object. So it is not programmer's button, it is Python's button. It is Python virtual machine PVM's button to declare, to know what data type it is, and to allocate the memory to the given value. So that is about dynamically typed. And also, I already explained, Python is both procedure oriented and object oriented. You can develop the programs like C, and also you can develop programs using object oriented approach. That means you can use both procedure oriented approach and also object oriented approach to develop the programs. That means Python supports both procedure oriented features and also object oriented features. And it is an interpreted language. That means a program code is called source code. After writing a Python program, we should compile the source code using Python compiler. The Python compiler translates the Python program into an intermediate code called bytecode. So this bytecode is then executed by the Python virtual machine PVM. Inside the PVM, an interpreter converts the bytecode instructions into machine code so that the processor will understand and run the machine code to produce the results. So that is means Python is an interpreted language. So this is the best feature of Python, and also we can say that due to this interpretation only, sometimes the performance of Python is degraded. That means somewhat compared to the compiled programming language, the interpreted language performance will be somewhat slow. Next, Python is extensible. Python is extensible. It has a best feature, extensible feature. That means let us suppose I have already have developed a project which consisting of 10,000 lines of code in Java. So I have developed the project in Java, which is already developed with 10,000 lines of code. Now again, if I want to write the same code in Python, it takes some time. So here a biggest advantage is there with the Python. That means you can keep those 10,000 lines of code in Python so that that code will be executed along with the Python code. That is called as extensible. That means other programming language concepts, other programming developed modules can be put in Python. That is called as extensible feature. That means already existing other language code can be used in Python so that we can improve the performance of the application. So that means you don't have to spend again the time to create the same application, the same lines of code again in Python. So you just keep all those lines of code in Python and you just run it so that you can improve the performance. That means extensibility means already existing other language code can be used in Python. That means Python welcomes happily the other language codes. That is called as extensible. Next one, embedded. Suppose if you want to embed your Python code into any other language, happily you can keep your Python code into other programming language code. That is called as embedded. We can insert Python programs into a C or C++ program. Several applications are already developed in Python which can be integrated into programming languages like C, C++, PHP, Java, and .NET. That means you can happily insert your lines of your Python code in other programming languages. That means programmers can use these applications for their advantage in various software projects. That means embedded means keeping the developer code into either C language, Java language, or scripting language, or Python, or you can keep anywhere. So that feature is called as embed. This is also the fantastic feature of Python. So Python has two excellent features. One is extensible. That means other programming snippets or other programming components can be embedded, can be inserted into your Python code, and also your Python code can be embedded into other programming languages. So both can be supported by the Python. So that is a beautiful concept of Python. Next one is extensive library. That means the Python has a huge library contains several small applications which are already developed and immediately available to the programmer. That means if you want to buy a home, if you want to construct a home, you need to purchase the land. Suppose if you want to if you want to have a home, have a house. Suppose if you want to construct by your own, then means you have to acquire the land, you have to take the permissions, and you have to start purchasing all the requirements or the materials required, raw materials for constructing the house, and all these things you have to do by your own. But it takes some time to do all those things. Suppose if you want to have a own home or house immediately, then you can go for a flat. It is already completed. Then you can simply by paying the money, you can have your home. So that means it is already existed. So you no need to you know to go for arranging all the things in order to have in order to construct your house. It takes time. So now ready-made flats are available. So if you have money, you go and purchase the flat. So that is called as the extensive. That is called as the ready-made uses of the programming. So small packages can be used and maintained easily. Thus, the programmer need not download separate packages or develop applications in many cases. Simply, they are using the already existed packages, modules, libraries, functionality of the Python. There are a lot of inbuilt libraries are there available for the Python. Suppose if you have a NumPy package, NumPy is a package which can be used for multi-dimensional data. Suppose if you have a Pandas package that can be used for data analysis, time series analysis, and statistical analysis. Suppose if you take the Matplotlib, it is a package for drawing electronic circuits and 2D graphs. So like that, many rich packages are available with Python. That's why it is called as extensive library. So these are the important 11 features of Python. Simply and easy to learn. Python is freeware and open source. Python is high level programming language. Python is platform independent. It has a portability feature. It is dynamically typed. It has both procedure oriented and object oriented features. It is interpreted language. It is extensible. It is embedded, and it is has extensive library. So these are the best features of Python, which makes attractive to the entire industry. So this is a just introduction about what is the Python and where we are using the Python, and what are the requirements of what are the features of Python, and the how where we have taken the features of Python like functional features, object-oriented feature, scripting feature, modular features, where these features have dropped. So this is the basic introduction about Python. So nowadays Python is having vast diversion in different domains. In mainly Python is being used popularly in machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, IoT. So anywhere you can develop the Python application. Now there are three Python versions. Python 1.0, and this was introduced in January 1994, and Python 2.0 version, and this was introduced in October 2000. Now the presently used Python version is Python 3.0, which was introduced in the year 2008 December. So these are the three versions. Presently we are using the Python 3.
In this entire video, I have explained so what is the Python, how it is invented, and what makes the name Python, and various applications of Python, and various concepts of Python. So hope you are understanding all the concepts. Please listen the video again and again so you will get perfection. And also please subscribe to my channel Learn with Lakineni so that you will get more updates from my channel. Please subscribe, press bell icon, like it, share it, and comment it. Okay, in the next session onwards, I'll start the long ways fundamentals of Python. Thank you for watching my videos.